Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
The Turbo Duel GP event is back in Duel Links, which is one of the two main PvP events we get outside the KC Cup. Now this event is honestly pretty cool, as it offers its own separate format for us to play in that's at least a little different from the norm. It gives us some cool ranked rewards to strive for, and our own little pyramid scheme to fall bait to. And my favourite addition is a PvP matchmaking system that is separated from the ranks you are trying to grind through, and is affected based on your performance in the GP. Now this is cool for one main reason. If you hate playing Shiranui Simulator, which at the high ranks that's all this mode is, you can simply lose a whole bunch and start facing different stuff at weaker ranks, and therefore be able to progress through the event's pyramid scheme with some sort of off-meta deck. But for the sake of this video, I went full tryhard, as I want to show you guys how you can abuse this format as much as possible. So for those of you unfamiliar with speed duels, the rules are relatively simple. It's a normal duel, only throughout the duel you'll gain speed counters if you perform certain actions, whether that be passively at the start of your standby phase, by normal or flip summoning, or most importantly, by synchro summoning. So simply, if you find a deck that can perform an absurd amount of synchro summoning in a turn, you can really abuse this system. So I bring you Vendred Mayakashi. Now I've already done a video on a list similar to this about a month ago, so I took that list and updated it for the format. The basic combo is to get Dakki on board, and Yuki in hand or grave. Simply special summon Yuki, which can then send a card from deck to grave, either Spectralsword for follow-up synchro plays, or Executor if you open an Origin. And once you have done this, you can simply synchro summon into Oboro. On synchro summon, you can revive Dakki, and once again synchro summon into this card I'm not even going to try and pronounce. On summon, you can once again revive Dakki and synchro summon into Tengu, and again into Yoko. Now each of your synchro monsters can be resurrected from the grave whenever a synchro monster you control that is 2 levels higher is destroyed, and when rezzed they will activate an effect. Yoko destroys a monster, Tengu destroys a back row, this thing mills 3 cards, and Oboro stops your monsters from being destroyed by battle. We have 2 main searches to support the deck. Solitaire, who can special summon a Dakki from deck, and Return, which can send any Mayakashi card to grave or add any Mayakashi card to hand. Keep in mind the Return can also send Winter to the grave, which can then banish a zombie from grave to resurrect one of your Mayakashis. The deck also has a Vendred and a Shiranui side to it. The Vendred side is pretty simple. If you ever open Origin, you can send an Executor to the grave using Yuki, which can then be special summoned using Origin by banishing zombie type monsters from the grave, which is really easy considering you have ramped a whole bunch during your turn. Origin, when in the grave, can protect your Executor from being destroyed by simply banishing it instead, and if Executor is ever destroyed, you may add another Origin to hand to summon it again from the grave on the following turn. Spectralsword allows for the inclusion of Shiranui. Basically, you can send this card to the grave with Yuki ready for your next turn, where you can then combine it with your level 5 to summon Squiresaga. You can then banish a card from grave to gain a bunch of effects based on the monster banished, including attack buff, back row removal, and destroying a monster. You can also combine Squiresaga with your Vendred to summon Sunsaga. You can then return any number of synchro monsters banished or in the grave to the extra deck to destroy the same number of cards. The final 2 cards are Forbidden Lance to chain to any annoying back row your opponent activates to disrupt your synchro summoning, and Ballista Squad, which is basically in here because your main combo will leave you with an extra monster on board you can tribute for this card's effect. But if you want something a little bit more spicy, you can also use Give or Take, which can give your opponent a Yuki from the grave for a pretty cool special summon lock, as she prevents your opponent from special summoning monsters from the extra deck except Mayakashis. Alright guys, that's it for the talking part of the video. The rest of the video we'll just see a bunch of gameplay showcasing the deck list in action. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, comment if you have any questions or feedback, make sure to check out my Discord, Patreon and Twitch down below. And if you happen to have $1 lying around and wish to support me, feel free to click that join button down below to support me directly, as well as gain access to a few little neat perks. Enjoy the gameplay!
Ready, set, Duel!
Ready?
Set! Duel! Ready, set, duel! Ready, set, duel!
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.